Hey guys, I'm Shannon Corbet, an Air Force veteran and longtime host here at We're the Mighty. For our return viewers, you might notice that our format looks a little bit different today. We're trying something new. Leave a comment, let me know what you think about it. And if you're here for the first time, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button because we've got some fun military trivia coming up and it really does help. So, for today's video. In the past 15 years, state-sponsored cyber attacks have increased significantly. From hacking government and military computers to obtain information, to shutting down or defacing websites, to interfering with power stations. And that's just what we know from the news. And in my experience, if something is public knowledge, then the classified story behind it is way more vast and comprehensive. As a cyber threat analyst at the National Security Agency, this is the one time when my chair forceness means I kind of actually know what I'm talking about. So make no mistake, countries like Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran are attacking the United States and other global players every day. Just ask Mattis or Sony. I mean, we traced North Korean hacking during our latest summit with North Korea. It's happening all the time. So why aren't these cyber attacks considered acts of war? Let's talk about it. But first, I want to talk about our video sponsor, NordVPN, because governments aren't the only ones susceptible to attacks. They're coming after you. Look, if you're like me and you connect to Wi-Fi at coffee shops or hotels, or if you use a credit card for online shopping, then your information is vulnerable to attack. NordVPN offers a virtual private network with military-grade encryption to connect remotely with access to over 1,000 servers in 61 countries, protecting your data, IP address, private information, all of it. And Wadham viewers get 75% off a 3-year plan by visiting nordvpn.com/Wadham, which is like WATM. We are the mighty Whiskey Alpha Tango Mike. You get it. And then for just under $3 a month, you can start protecting your data on up to 6 devices simultaneously, including your phone and your computers. You can also use the code WADHAM at checkout and get an additional month of NordVPN for free. So go to nordvpn.com/WADHAM and start protecting your data today. Okay, cyber attacks. The United States, for example, knows that we're being targeted by cyber attacks. And we're really good at tracking down who's behind those intrusions. So when a country like Russia targets the United States for a cyber attack, why isn't it considered an act of war? Well, it can be, but it depends on the attack and how the law of war applies to it, even though those rules predate the invention of the internet. The United States government has identified cyberspace as an operational domain in which the armed forces must be able to defend and operate, just like land, sea, air, and space. But just like the Chinese Navy can aggressively fly past a ship without it being an attack, state-sponsored hackers can intrude on a network without it necessarily being an attack. Per the Department of Defense Law of War Manual, codified cyber operations include all sorts of activity, from disrupting our websites to stealing our nudes to bringing down infrastructure. Other cyber operations include reconnaissance, securing access to key network systems, implanting malicious codes or access tools, acquiring foreign intelligence, or gaining information about an adversary's military capabilities and intent. But the DoD also makes it clear that not all attacks are created equal, which seems logical, right? If you read my email, I don't get to shoot you, but don't read my email or I will shoot you. I won't shoot you, but don't read my email, don't push it. Anyway, so most cyber attacks fall short of the legal and common sense definitions of attacks during the conduct of hostilities. It's not an act of war to steal a copy of the interview, even if you leak the ending online before the movie even comes out. Rude, Kim Jong-un. We wanted to see those Rogan Franco antics while they were still fresh. But cyber operations can cause a variety of effects, and some of these could be defined as an act of war. If the effects of cyber operations cause the same damage as dropping a bomb, then that cyber attack becomes subject to the same laws as physical attacks. And this is possible. In fact, it's already happened. The New York Times reported a cyber assault that hit a petrochemical company in Saudi Arabia. The attack was designed to sabotage the firm's operations and trigger an explosion. That's a pretty clear-cut case, but it still might not be in a country's best interest to launch physical military attacks over the issue. After all, Syria didn't attack Israel, even though Israeli jets are sometimes hitting targets in the Syrian civil war, because Syria can't afford a new state-level enemy right now, which makes sense. Would we really want to start a war with North Korea, China, Russia, even if they did manage to damage some infrastructure in the US? Probably not. I hope we don't. So in general, we use the same guidelines for assessing cyber attacks as we do in any other kind of attack or intrusion. If it's peacetime intelligence and counterintelligence activities, we take it on a case-by-case basis. International law exists to determine the legality of intel operations, and we apply the same or similar rules for how we operate within cyberspace. But that being said, we still recognize our right to self-defense in cyberspace and any other battlefield. Publicly, the US has made a commitment to respond to a cyber attack just as we would any other attack, and by any means, diplomatic, economic, or military. But we try to exhaust all options, even our own cyber arsenal, before the use of military force. And we have to be certain that we're retaliating against the source of the original attack, which can be tough when countries like Russia hide behind shadowy hacker groups and any sophisticated hackers can take steps to mask their digital footprints. Like when you use NordVPN to connect to an external server in a different country. So I can almost guarantee that a cyber war is raging, but it doesn't make the news. The United States and Russia do not actually want to launch missiles at each other, right? Nobody wants that kind of damage. We also have an economic relationship with them that benefits both parties. The same is true with China, but ideologically, we're just not that compatible. Now, I've been out of the game for a while, but I suspect that when we catch Russia sneaking into our systems, we just sneak right back. It's an information war, and I'm actually not sure about who's winning. While the US has made mistakes, for the most part, we play by the rules, and our adversaries don't. Also, let's just be honest, the United States is not very united right now, which leaves us very vulnerable to attack, to theft, to disinformation campaigns, and that's not meant to be a political statement. This has been a growing problem for decades. It's about our democracy and our great way of life. Right now, it's kind of like the Cold War, with mutually assured destruction, keeping everyone in their best behavior. Hopefully with less threat of nuclear attacks, but the truth is a cyber attack has the potential to cause devastating effects. Imagine if an adversary manipulated the stock exchange or an air traffic control center at an international hub. Such attacks would be violations of the law of war, but terrorists don't play by the rules. So far, we're lucky that they don't have the same sophisticated technology as major global players, but the threat is real, which is why we must continue to develop our own capabilities and remain superior in the battle space. Every battle space. Now, a while back, I asked you about your favorite drunk stories from history, and you guys really came through. One story stood out above the rest, Andrew Jackson's inauguration. I had fun learning about it. Got comments popping up. I haven't planned it out. I saved all of your comments. I read all of the comments, you guys. I read all of them. So anyway, please leave more. Let me know if you think we should make a video about drunk Andrew Jackson. That's it. That's all I got.